All right, so this video is on Garage and how to at least start with the design process, how to put some of those obstructions in, and how to design with your platforms. So I'm just going to start by, I don't know, placing what I think might be a garage. And this is what it looks like. The larger the room that you're designing, the smaller it gets. I just have to rename it. It'll drive me crazy. All right, so we're going to put a garage door in. It's not like an actual garage door. The system only understands doors as you place them. So it's going to look like a regular door. But with garage doors come garage door tracks. And I think this is where a lot of designers make the whoopsies because they don't really factor in the height or the fact that there is a track. And if you have doors on a unit, it's possible that your unit can't open now because something was missed and we didn't really factor that in. So what I've used, which I found to be pretty helpful, and I'm going to say that this is 23 inches from the wall. So we're inside the garage looking at the garage door. I use an accessory. In the accessories, I use a base. It's brown. Where is it? It's this. This is what I use. I'm going to start it from the sidewall here. And I'm going to design it from where the door is, which is on the left. I don't actually know how far they go. They're all different. It could be a golf cart garage door, could be a legit tall garage door. I'm just going to use it as 75 inches just for the sake of it. So when I put this in here, you'll notice from here, it just automatically puts it on the wall. That's not where we want it. So I'm going to double click on this so that my dialog box pops up, and I'm going to specify that it is 23 inches from the wall because that's where the door is. And if the door is 23 inches from the wall, more than likely, if you measure correctly, your track is going to be 23 inches from the wall. But what happens a lot is this is going to be 2 inches, 23 from the wall. But I want to show it up off the floor as if it were a track. Generally, they're around 80 inches, but this is where you measure to the bottom of that track. So when I do this, it's going to put it here. And when I show it, so it kind of lines up, right? You have to use the system for what it is. I'm just going to double click or copy this. And I'm going to put it over here and just kind of move it. This one's going to be just slightly different. This is 23 inches on this side. This is 22 1/4. So this is 22 1/4. And I just clicked on that item number. That's the baseboard. So in 3D, I can show what could be my track. And it's more just that I don't forget something, I don't miss it, because it really does happen all the time that clients are looking at the wall and they're like, wait a minute, can you make that high? Can we put doors up there? If they want to go taller than this, where the track is, I highly recommend doing a tall 2 opening. So you have a door at the top, excuse me, a door at the bottom, and you take the door off the top. So you could still have doors on the bottom where it's not going to be obstructed. And then you still have shelving around where that track might be. So now, how we typically design in a garage, I'm going to exit out of this and go back into my library. I'm going to type in legs. These are the garage legs. You always have to start with a platform. When you put these in, they're automatically kind of come in at 30 inches. They don't come in as a color. So you have to double click on your item number and adjust your sizing and the color. So this is the color. It says white for black, 1 for black, 2 for white, 3 for gold, and 4 for silver. I would just make them black because if you specify Richelieu feet, they're going to be black. If you want Hayfele feet starting at 6 inches tall, they will be silver. So I'm going to make this 1. Richelieu's come in at 4 inches, and I'm probably going to do an 18-inch deep unit. This is a Garage. So now you'll see the beginning of the platform. I'll probably do, just for this scenario, a couple of units. And I'm just copying them and just putting them on the right side of the unit that I just placed. So 4, 5, and 6. So you start with your legs, then we need a shelf. I'm gonna bring this down. So if my feet are 4 inches, this would be 4 inches from the floor. I also made it 18 inches, so I'm going to make it 18 inches for my depth. So this is now my platform. So if this were 80 inches from the floor, I'm now 80 inches from the floor minus my 4 inches feet and my 3/4 inch shelf. So I don't have a full 80 inches to design with. I probably have more like 72, 73. So I am going to go into my tall cabinet, choose a 1 opening, just going to put some shelving with some doors. I generally refer to my 32mm chart. I want to keep the engineers on my good side. Plus, if I'm going to design something, I would like it to be as true as possible. So I'm going to use this metric empirical conversion chart to really determine if it is 72 inches or 73. So I'm going to go by my panel height, which is here. And I'm going to choose a 72 5/8. That's what the height of my cabinet will be. So I'm going to make this 72 5/8. It's 18 inches deep. I don't need a kick plate. I do need to keep a bottom. So I have feet, a shelf for the platform, and then a bottom for the actual unit. But I am going to make this off the floor, 4 for my feet, plus the 3/4 inch shelf. And when I do that, it's going to show that I'm on my platform. I still have some wiggle room. So remember, this is a garage floor, meaning it's not level. That's the reason we use feet. So I'd like to have just a little bit of a buffer just in case they have to level something and it pushes me a little bit closer to the top. I'm just going to right click and just copy these over and go right of and do the same. So now you can share your panels. I have right clicked and highlighted them in red. There is another video on this. I'm going to join them and I'm going to keep them highlighted, right click out here and make them the same. I will say generally, I'm just going to leave it for this scenario, but usually in a garage, you're not going to have as many shelves. Your people are generally putting bigger, bulkier things in a garage. So if you need to, just double click on your unit, scroll down to where it says number of shelves. And I mean, you can make it 4. Perhaps they've got some tubs of Christmas decorations. So now if you look, you can see, and we'll take off the garage door. I'm going to click on options. I'm in 3D. I'm going to click on options and remove my garage door here. Hit hide and redraw. So now when I show this to engineering, to the client, they can see if there is an obstruction for the track. Because if this isn't here, they might say, instead of 72 inches, do you think we could go all the way up to the ceiling? Yeah, okay, Mrs. Jones. And you do it forgetting you have an obstruction.